So, over the winter, I've been working on a plan of my garden. I got one of those little drawing pads for Christmas, and I thought this would be a great use for it. Now, I've never been very artistic, so it's not going to be a masterpiece, but I've done everything to scale. I went out in the garden with a measuring tape and measured everything. So we'll start at the back here. This is the bed that runs along the wall, along the back here. So you can see the climbers here. Got the rose, the kiwi and the campsis. Then this is the bed. So I'm planning on changing quite a lot this year, but I'm not sure it's going to work out exactly how I've planned it. It's just to give me a bit of a blueprint, I guess. This is a new plant. It's already started shooting actually, so I'll be getting it in the ground soon. So last week I sowed some foxglove seeds, and I wanted to put foxgloves in the garden, but I know they only flower in their second year. But I found this variety, they're like an F1 variety that will flower in their first year. And I thought it would be good with alliums, but I don't actually have any alliums at the moment, so I'll have to buy some this year and put them in autumn. Some aquilegias. These are all sort of things that don't mind a bit of shade, as it's a bit shady over here in this corner. Then these are some tigridia bulbs that I've got, that I've had for a few years now. I have a few annual seeds that my mum gave to me. She just collected from gardening magazines and stuff, and they're still just about in date. So I thought instead of buying new things, I'll try and use as much of those up as possible. So there's zinnias and cosmos in there, so I thought that would be quite nice to like brighten up the front of the beds. This I've already got, but it's in this bed down here, but I thought I'd move it up here because it looks quite nice sort of spilling over the front. It's a bit of a spreading plant. This is already here. These are already here. This is where I want to put the delphiniums that I grew from seed last year, so I've just potted them up into bigger pots, and I thought they'd look quite nice at the back here. I've also got some irises that I've grown from offsets that I thought would be quite nice in the corner here. This is quite a sunny corner, so all these things should get a fair bit of sun. I thought this is a new plant I've bought, the aster, and I thought that would look nice there because once the delphiniums are done flowering, it's a bit of a later flowering plant. It will sort of take over in the area. These are a few things I've got in pots that I've put down the end there. This is my echium that is growing away nicely in its tent. It's starting to get a bit of height on it now, so I'm hoping that will give me a really good flower this year. These two plants, they've sort of got swamped by the echium, and they've been there last year, but they didn't do very well last year, and I'm not sure if they're actually still alive. More delphiniums I thought would be good at the back of the bed there. These little purple circles are the alliums that I did plant in September, and they actually are starting to come up now. These ones here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put a canna here last year and I thought it would look really good, so I thought I'd do that again this year. These are more of those annuals that I've got seeds for. I thought I'd put at the front of this bed as well. More foxgloves and alliums at the back here, because at the moment I've got quite low growing things, because this is shady again, like hostas and ferns, and you can't really see them unless you walk right round the back here. So I thought tall things would be good that you can see from over here. But again, these alliums aren't planted. That's something to do this year. This is a new plant I thought would look nice there. I thought the pink would go quite nicely with the ivory colour of those poppies. And I've got some astrantias that I thought would look nice there. Then we come down more into Runty's area down here. Here's her little ramp so that she can walk from the greenhouse into the garden. I've actually broken it. I trod on it accidentally the other day and it's made of slate, so it just snapped. So I'm going to have to find something else to put there. These are the geranium. That's a geranium I've got. It spreads quite nicely, so I thought that would be nice all the way along the front there. And these are new plants that I bought last year and have potted up, so I'm going to plant them this spring, and I think they'll look really nice there. So this is the wet area. So these are all the plants that don't mind a bit of wet. So I'm going to make this new bed this spring. This bed isn't actually here at the moment. It's just loads of moss and liverwort where the lawn sort of died off, where it's been too wet and shady. So I've already got these hostas, but I'm moving them here. And this is a plant I've had and haven't known what to do with, but they quite like shady, wet areas. They don't mind it. So I thought that would be good there. I also want to put some stepping stones in to help protect the lawn a bit. Got my little table and chairs. this clematis I'm going to put in a different pot this year. I've got a square one, so that'll fit better in the corner. And I'm going to paint it to match the table and the chairs. Come down here. This is the bed that runs along the wall at the side. I'm not changing much here, really. The only thing I'm going to add are this climber, this Thunbergia salmon shades, which I'm going to sew this year, because I thought that would look nice with these sort of purple and pinks. And this new Origeron, I thought I'd just stick it here because I want it to self-seed everywhere. So the sort of patio here, and it likes to self-seed in patios, so I thought that would be a good spot to get it going, get it self-seeding. And this is the front bed that's by the front door, so I thought I could put more delphiniums at the back of it. I've got a ginger I want to plant in there, which is growing in the greenhouse at the moment. This lily was there last year, but I thought I'd move it back to the corner, and then this ginger can take over once it's done. There's Honesty already self-seeding in there. I've got these in the greenhouse. I put a canna there last year and I thought it looked quite nice. This I've got in the greenhouse. That rose is growing nicely. Hopefully that will put on a bit of height this year. And a little cineraria at the front, because I thought the silver looked really nice with the rose. So yeah, I think that's everything. I'm quite looking forward to bringing it all to life. It's February now and I'm hiding in the greenhouse because it is very windy outside, as you might be able to hear. We've had a lot of windy weather lately. So what I want to do is I've got a few plants that are quite young, quite small, and I'd like to just pop them up and keep them here in the greenhouse to try and grow them on a bit before I put them out this year, because I want to grow them outside this year, but they're still quite small. I've got these delphiniums, which I grew from seed last year, and I should have really potted them up out of here last year, but I just never got round to it. But I'd like to put them in the garden this year, but as you can see, they're still very small, but they're starting to grow. So I think now's a good time to get them in bigger pots. These geraniums. So these ones are ones I just bought last year and I dug them up and I'm storing them in here over winter. But these ones were cuttings that I took last year and I put them inside and I put them in our spare room, which is the coldest room in the house, hoping they wouldn't grow too much, but they've done very well. And some of them still, that one's only got one, but some of them have got a few per pot, so they really need their own pots now, and then they could be planted or given away. I mean, I don't think I need this many pelargoniums. What else? These echiums, these aren't for me. I've grown them for a couple of friends. I keep the frost off in this greenhouse, so they've been all right in here. I want them to grow on as much as possible, so hopefully they actually flower this year, because it will be difficult to get them through another winter. So I'm going to put those in bigger pots as well. I've got these bulbs that I just completely forgot about. They were given to me as a present at Christmas and I'd already done my tulip planting. But I've heard a couple of times you can actually get away sometimes with planting tulips quite late, and it's only just February. So I thought, sod it. I've got this pot here that had bulbs in it. I don't think there's many left in it. I'm just going to throw them in there, see if anything happens. These cuttings that I took, I had 4 different types for these pelargoniums. So I've got this one, which is pink eye, so that's an upright geranium. I've got a big pot of it down here, pink, I think it's called pink purple eye or something like that. So I took a few from those and 2 seem to have taken quite well. So I quite like that one, it's one of my favourite colours. So I'm gonna pot them up separately. Pink purple eye. I think I'll give them a nice 1 litre pot. Something's banging around a bit out there. Might need to check that. Sounds like it's going to come through the greenhouse. Have I just buried the label that was in there? Where's he gone? Oh, there. Okay. So let's make 1 more of those. I've got another upright one. What have I called it? I've called it Starry Red. It's another one of my favourite ones. Got a couple that have taken there and they're looking quite good. They looked quite nice last year by the front door. The rest are all trailing. I think I had a white one and a pink one. This one has snapped. I can't tell. I think that's white. And lastly we've got trailing pink. All three seem to have taken quite well there. So I'll just put them in 3 little pots. They'll make some nice, nice trailing over some nice pots, I think, this summer. Right, next I'm going to do these delphiniums. They're all Pacific hybrid mix. So I thought if I can grow them in the greenhouse for as long as possible, then hopefully the slugs and snails won't get those young fresh leaves that they like the best. I just went and checked on Daisy and she is fast asleep on the sofa. Pots. Pots, are they? They look like 1 and a 4. Oh, look, there are a couple of ones there. Them as well rooted, and look, there's something's moved in. What's that? What to do with you, eh? And now the echiums. This is my little one that I grew last year. So hopefully this year I can grow it on and keep potting it up, and next year it should flower. I might go for 2 litre pot actually if I can find one. And this one. It's a bit of a big jump, isn't it? The camera is currently sitting on top of. I have to move the camera. That'll do. You got the echiums in their big pots. I've got to be careful not to water them too much now because it'll be very easy for them to just get drowned, and if it gets cold as well that'll be fatal for them. I've got my delphiniums up here. They need a little bit of water. Got some of my pelargonium cuttings here, and I've also taken a few inside, the upright ones, because I want them to grow on a bit more because they get a bit bigger than the trailing ones. So that's it, everything potted up that I wanted to pot up. It's starting to get dark now, so I think it's time to go in and have some dinner. So it's towards the end of February now, and it's a nice sunny day, starting to feel a bit springy. The delphiniums that I potted up a few weeks ago now are coming along nicely. They're putting on some nice growth, which is good to see. The geraniums are doing alright over there. The echiums as well, look like they've put on some nice new growth here, and they're happy in their new pots. Got some growth down here from the new perennials I bought towards the end of last year that I potted up. I think that's the sanguisulba coming through there, all signs of life now. Tulips that I planted a bit late, a few weeks ago actually, starting to come through. So that's good. The raspberries need cutting back. I can do that now really, so that's on my to-do list. Got to prune this hydrangea, a bit of pruning to do soon. Daffodils are just starting to come through. Sarcococca's still going, still got a few flowers on it, smells lovely. The skimmy is looking nice as well, looking a bit more green now. And the camellia, it's got flowers on it now that are just coming out. Got some hyacinths that are just starting to flower over here, and some more poking through there. Need to have a good tidy up around here. Cut all these down. Got quite a few things to cut back and tidy up over here. Got to prune that hydrangea. This kiwi needs pruning. I need to take that out. So soon I'll be giving the garden a good tidy up, taking out stuff, cutting stuff back. I'll manure all the beds, and then I'll start trying to plant up everything to this plan. So yeah, hopefully it will be an exciting year for the garden.